welcome to Out of the Ordinary, where I have interesting conversations with people who have experienced something different and unique. This conversation is with somebody that is experiencing something that is ongoing. It's currently progressing, and they are still giving us updates on their Reddit profile. And so I'm going to be including some of the video that they've captured previously as we go through some of the details in the interview. So, enjoy. Generally speaking, where is all this happening? You mentioned like a bunker scenario.
Right. So there's this huge bunker complex from I think the Second World War, if I recall correctly, and it's one of the biggest, I believe, around the area I live. It has around 5 floors and many unused hallways and and corridors. And so, for some reason, I believe that a person owns this bunker. I don't know what kind of legal trouble they had to go through to accomplish that, but they managed to kind of rent this bunker and some of its rooms to some companies and musical venues and the likes. And so this is kind of where I work from time to time, and I stayed there for a couple of late shifts because I like to work around in a later hour because I'm more productive around that hour, and all the kind of creative stuff kind of flows out of me more easily then. And so I usually have headphones on, like I do now. Like this is usually the way I sit around, and I just began hearing this class of music, which I really liked, and due to the fact that some music venues are in these complexes as well, I was like, okay, this is probably just somebody practicing.
Yeah.
And so what people do when they move in here, or what people have to kind of do to let everyone know that they're there, is put like a poster or something on the doors. We have like these glass doors, and it just says basically the company or the music venue that's staying there and for how long they're staying there. And so people who want to go to music venues can find it that way, and we what kind of people are staying there. And so I went all around the bunker and didn't find any of that, any signs that any music festivals are there, which kind of weirded me out. But then I was like, okay, well, this is probably just somebody practicing an instrument,
right?
Because the acoustics are pretty great, honestly.
Oh yeah, like you can hear that in the video. It sounds, it's like this booming echo. It sounds gorgeous.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was like, at this point, I didn't think much of it, and I just posted it on the Bioshock subreddit because I was like, okay, this kind of has this feeling to it, when you play those Bioshock games and you step like in this capsule or something that catapulted you into rapture. That was just the vibe that struck me, and so that's why I posted it there. Had I known what this whole thing turned into, it's probably not the place I would have posted it. But here we are. And so people were kind of fascinated by it, I guess. And when I posted the video, I also added that the second day around, I looked for a source because I heard it again and didn't find anything, and it was kind of weird because every time I just set a foot on the steps, it disappeared completely, and it's like somebody was fleeing the scene or something.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, this is kind of getting interesting, and I whipped my phone out and took a couple of videos. It kind of was all fun and games, and then I stumbled across or upon this door, which I've walked past a couple of times because kind of moving cargo through these corridors and hallways. And it always made like a weird noise because it's kind of drafty in there, and so it's kind of the creepy door,
Yep.
And nobody really wants to go in there, obviously. And I was like, okay, if somebody was in these hallways actually practicing the violin and disappearing somewhere, that could be an excellent hiding place, because usually only me and my bosses actually have keys to that hallway, so I wouldn't know how anyone else would get in there except for this door. And sometimes people leave doors open, admittedly, so it could have been that as well.
Sure.
But anyways, I stepped in there and I took a couple of videos, and it was creepy as hell, not gonna lie. I try to play it off in the comments, but I'm fucking scared every time I go down there. Like,
oh yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. And the first thing I stumbled across was like a metal sheet or something. It was like somebody put just like very thin, like some kind of tin or something, a sheet on that on top of these stairs to block it off. And I was like, okay, no, I'm not gonna intrude there. And the next day I was like, okay, I, I have to go there now because it was kind of, yeah, just being always at the back of my mind. And so I pushed it aside and found out that it was apparently like some storage place for some old company that stayed there.
Okay.
Because there was like, yeah, just old folders and like paper towels and just the usual office stuff in there. And that happens from time to time. I mean, I guess somebody who didn't want to clean out their stuff just blocked it off and that's it, you know, like
Yeah,
some venue or something.
just didn't feel like dealing with it, so I just kind of put something up and forget about it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, okay, that's probably it, and walked up these stairs, which were fucking creepy as well.
Yes. Yeah. Those are dank looking stairs. Just oof.
Yeah, and it was like very dusty, and the whole atmosphere was just horrible. But you know, I thought, okay, for Reddit and for the video, it's kind of a nice experience. So I just went up there, and I stumbled across upon this wall, which really just looked like some bricks and wet sand stacked on top of each other, like a very, very poorly built wall. Which is weird because usually you don't see that kind of stuff in Germany, to be honest, except on roads.
Fair.
But like that was kind of weird, and there was a very noticeable like gap at the top, which I couldn't really reach. And I was like, okay, nobody's gonna climb over there. That's just no way. And I had to build like a little contraption to hold my phone into to film over that because it was just very tall. Yeah,
the clip with the extendo stick. Yeah,
exactly. And so I was like, okay, no way is somebody fleeing up there. But then again, like in the next post, like I said, I found like this ladder that leaned against the other side of the wall. So it's like maybe with that ladder you could get over that. I don't know. I didn't really want to go over there because I don't think I would even fit. Like I would probably get stuck or something.
Yeah.
So I didn't. So what I did then was...
Could I pause you real fast? So you're hearing this music play, and all this stuff is happening. I know at least in one of the videos, or at least one of the posts, you mentioned that this was about 1 a.m. So it's pretty unusual for any sort of violin practice. Pretty unusual for pretty much anybody, and you're kind of working night shift, keeping people out of a lot of these areas. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, that's true on the one hand side. On the other hand, it's not unusual for like these artists or like music people to arrive at a very early time or like a very late time. You often see like tour buses and the likes parked around the bunker. So it might have been that. I'm not trying to make this more spooky than it has to be. So that could have been possible.
Okay. Yeah. Fair. Yeah, I just wanted to bring in like the time frame because that caught me a little. I worked night shift for a good few years, and any little thing that would happen would kind of set off a red flag. It's like, why are they doing that? It's like 2 a.m. What's going on?
True. I mean, you're kind of more on edge on the night shift, aren't you?
Yes.
It's like everything's a little bit more intense.
Yeah, especially if you're on your own, in a creepy bunker. Yeah, I imagine so.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Well, yeah, at the bottom of the stairs, actually, if you walked down again, there were these like big storage racks, basically, and they were so big and had like these wooden floors in between that you could actually stand on them. So that's why I climbed up on.
Okay.
And that was like a small bongo, like a very, very small, cutesy little bongo, which I found very interesting. Like, why would somebody leave that up there? But okay, that's cool. And that was a dead end. And so I was like, okay, well, that was a nice exploration thingy. And I climbed down, and I noticed as I was climbing down, there was like a pipe or something, like an opening, I believe for like some ventilation or, air vent purposes. And I turned on the flashlight, and I could see that there's something behind that, like an actual room. And so I'm like, okay, I could climb through that. I could possibly fit through that. Yeah, but I don't know if that would be a good idea, to be honest. So, yeah, that was that. Um, then on Friday evening, Friday night around 10 p.m. or so, I was here again. And I was making a little video about the elevator, which I totally forgot to mention because there's an elevator which had been stuck like halfway underground.
Yeah.
I guess you could climb in some way from the ground floor, but had like red tapes around it and everything.
Yeah.
I actually have a photo of it. I can post it if that's relevant as well. And so it was repaired. I just noticed that on Friday, and so I wanted to show off the elevator, and I took a little video of that. And there was this trapdoor contraption thingy that I couldn't get open.
Up on the ceiling there, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so I took the video because I was like, okay, somebody's gonna know how to open these things. Like, if any place, it's Reddit, you know?
Yep, they're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, definitely. So I took a video of that, and I went up to the 4th floor, which is where I usually stayed, and where it all started, basically, where I first took the video of the violin music in the hallway. And so I went up there, and I was like trying to show the place, and I filmed in the hallway. And as I was walking out of the elevator, I saw, I'm pretty sure, somebody walking across like the hallway. This is sort of where it all started, so let me just show you real quick once I arrive. So this is where the music originally came from, right here. And you can see quite clearly. Oh, fuck. And disappearing in the door frame. And that was really fucking scary, because at that point I knew that there was no one there. And so I was like, okay, spooky stuff and ghost stories are one thing, but like an actual person maybe being there, that can be dangerous. And so I was like, I was really, really freaked out at that point, and I just left, honestly. Yeah.
Dang.
So that was that. And now I'm, on Saturday I had to print something out, for which I drove into the bunker again because I don't have a printer at home. And I had bongo music. And I was like, okay, now somebody's really fucking with me now, because, okay, first a violin, now a bongo, like, okay, what's this whole thing gonna turn into? Like a ghost band or something? Jesus fucking Christ. And so I had this bongo in the same stairwell. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna film this. Whipped out my phone, ran down the stairs, didn't see anything, and went into the creepy door again. And that was a bongo. That was a fucking bongo. Hey. Oh, fuck off. I don't know I'm going to be honest. I don't know if that was a good thing to do, but I just took the bongo with me because I was like, okay, nobody in their right mind would leave a bongo there. So now I have this bongo in a storage area.
Yeah, it's not like a playing. I'm sure I'll put that clip in there because it's not a spot where you'd play a bongo. Like it makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. And there's like the foot is popped off of it, like it was put there in a hurry, or it's.
Really?
It's weird.
Oh, I haven't even noticed that. Yeah. Yeah. No. Right. Yeah. One of the foots were missing. Maybe I can still find that down there. I'll take a look. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So that was really like I feel like somebody's actually actively fucking with me. Like like actually wanting to do something weird. But yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, and I haven't even mentioned that because right now I'm in the office as well because I have to check some renderings. Yeah, it's the industry, man. I'm telling you. My screens started to flicker like occasionally, but that happened like a year back as well. So I could be a coincidence. But I'm like, okay, now it's like starting to turn into paranormal activity, you know?
Any little thing is gonna set off like, is that something that's messing
Yeah,
with me? Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. So
Holy
that's just
cow.
weird.
So, so it started off with the violin music, but now it's like you said, it's kind of evolving into a lot of other stuff. Do you still hear the violin playing every once in a while, or is it just moved on?
I didn't. It was just this one time occasion basically,
Huh.
and that was it. Yeah, really weird. And so I'm just wondering what's going to be next. Like, will I find a piano down there? Something.
Just kind of stuffed
Yeah.
haphazardly in the corner. Yeah. Oh,
Oh, sorry.
the,
I think my light is I'm sorry. Let me just check on that real quick. Oh my fucking! You have to be kidding me. Wait a second.
oh man, that timing could not have been better. Oh
So I
man,
think it's just dead. It just
it's
died
it's
as
just
I had to
died on
turn
you.
on some.
Holy crap.
Fuck. Okay. I'm sorry.
If you start, yeah, as I say, you might want to leave one off. If you start hearing like bongos and shit, that's
Dude, maybe I should return the bongo. Maybe I've
you've
just been cursed.
anchored the bongo spirits. Some,
Oh
oh
damn.
boy, yeah.
Okay.
So
Well,
usually you want to
what was
interview
the question?
somebody. Well, usually when I
Sorry,
interview
sorry.
somebody for something like this, it's something that they've experienced, in the previous years, or something that's post. This is you're kind of in the middle
I'm in
of
the middle
this.
of
Yeah,
it.
you're in the
Yeah.
thick of whatever this is, and you've been posting all these updates, and it's this kind of ongoing. Obviously,
Exactly.
uh,
Oh my
are
God.
there
Yeah. Okay.
fun?
Wow.
Jeez, it
Sorry.
beats. Are you on night shift tonight? Because I know it's in the PM over there.
What? Oh yeah, it's in the PMs, but that's nowhere near a night shift. That's still
True.
like a good late shift. Yeah. No, I was actually just checking on some renderings to make sure that everything was all right because we had a
Yeah.
deadline. So yeah,
Just
everything was all right.
dart all around.
The
Yeah.
real horror would begin if like some rendering shit would fuck up or something. I'd be
Right?
mad then.
Yeah. You find out there's somebody standing behind you the whole time. That'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Good times
Yeah, I'm
there.
just watching my cam constantly just to see if because I'm fucking paranoid.
Well, you put the wall to your back, so that's pretty smart. That's,
Yeah, exactly.
jeez, oh
That was
Pete.
planned.
So,
Yeah.
you mentioned in a post that the company, whoever you're working for, had kind of odd, almost like nonchalant wording about what's happening. You told your employer that this stuff is happening, and they said, oh yeah, yeah. What what was their response like? Like you mentioned that it kind of leans you towards, I'm going to check it out. What's that all about?
Yeah, no, I think I just interpret it as like they're usually more concerned about like me not going down there because of, the reasons like insurance reasons because it's
Sure.
not possibly not structurally safe or something, I believe.
Oh,
So
jeez.
they're yeah, they're just worried about me, which is like, okay, that's understandable. That's fine.
Sure.
I'm not like suspicious of that. Um, but I called like that. There's this management team for this bunker because sometimes like it actually happens that when the doors towards the outside stay open for some reason, like somebody just blocks the door. Sometimes like people get into the towers and into the corridors and
Okay.
sleep there and stuff. So that occasionally happens, and so that's why we have this management team who then see if anybody's in there.
Yeah.
Mhm. And so I called them, and especially after this one incident where I'm 100% sure saw a person.
Yeah, that was definitely a
Right.
person.
Yeah, right. And I called them, and I was like, okay, there's somebody in here because I'm suspecting that just to be some kind of intruder.
Yep.
And they were like, okay, that wouldn't be the first time that happens. So
Sure.
that occasionally happens, I guess. And they were like, okay, we're gonna check on this. And so the next day, then they told me per mail that They checked everything. Every door was locked. There was nobody there, and that actually the doorway that I was talking about towards the hallway was not only closed but locked. And I was
Dang.
the last one there, I'm pretty sure. And I didn't lock these doors. And the next day I came to these doors and they were locked.
Oh, that's
So
weird.
like, yeah, I'm like, maybe that's somebody with a key. But then again, like, who would fucking sneak around like
Yeah.
that with a key? So yeah, it's just weird. I don't know.
Oh man, that's yeah. And if it was somebody that was going around that had a key and they needed access to whatever's behind the door, it
Yeah.
it would make sense that they would let somebody know, like, hey, you know, it's just me, just going through. I'm gonna go pop in, need something. I'll lock up on my way out. Don't worry about it, chief. But that doesn't seem to be
Exactly.
the case. Uh,
Yeah,
so,
no, and I actually called out to the person in the stairway like a couple of times to
oof,
just to see if
yeah.
if there's actually somebody in there, they surely they would respond or something. Nothing. Not a single thing.
Oh
It's like,
man,
man, yeah.
God. So it's just there's so many little things that kind of stack up on this, and maybe they're not related at all, but it's the timing just seems all strange. Uh, but does it feel like something? Well, you mentioned earlier that when you realized that this was a person, you realized that this could be kind of dangerous. What's your overall feeling? Do you feel like this is like a dangerous situation? Do you feel like this is what are your feelings on all this?
Well, I believe if it really was that dangerous, the people that I called probably would have warned me or told me not to like investigate any
Probably.
further. And
Yeah.
well, they did sort of, but they weren't really adamant about it. You know, they weren't
Yeah.
like, "Oh, geez, really be careful. It's dangerous."
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's probably just people that sneak around that hide aren't usually predators. I guess,
That's
or
fair.
like people who are actually dangerous. So I'm like, nah, like, if usually I walk around with like some gear or some like clamps or film equipment or something,
Okay.
which I could defend myself with.
Oh yeah, that's heavy stuff.
Right? So it's like I'll probably be fine. So yeah, as far as I can legally go, I guess I will try to investigate just for my own curiosity, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, heck, might as well. If you're there holding
Yeah,
down the fort anyway, might as well check it out. And,
exactly.
and
I had
it's
it. I have to be here.
yeah, you get people all the time like, oh, that weird thing happened. Yeah, well, you have a camera in your pocket, but you're taking advantage of that. It's like, oh, I guess I'm
Exactly.
gonna.
It's like all these UFO stories. It's so weird that
Yeah.
people are like always telling these stories, but never whipping out their phones to actually like film something because
Yep.
that's hard evidence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And oh man, it's the one where of course you're going into the elevator and you're showing off the door that comes down. As soon as that door came down, I don't know. That would have been. I don't know if I could have pulled that off. I get claustrophobic and just
Oh,
like a
really?
lot of those other stuff. Like elevators don't normally bother me, but seeing that vertical door come down, so I thought, okay, he's gonna get trapped in here. This is, the next three updates are gonna be him figuring out how to get out, things like that, and a door opened back up. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Dude,
It's
don't
just that
jinx it. Yeah.
that tension, and then yeah, you're just talking about I think like down the hallway or something, and it just mid sentence, just somebody just passes through the end. It, man, oh man, and hopefully it
Yeah.
is just somebody kind of sneaking around. I know there are a lot of like urban explorers, especially over in Europe, that check out a lot of old bunkers, above ground, underground, and they like to kind of like physically breach some of these places to get footage of old things. And um, there's a big explorative world for that kind of thing, but they usually don't. They usually try to keep themselves from getting attention from anyone else that might be occupying the place. So
They don't play bongos.
yeah, don't
Yeah.
play bongos. Is probably don't blast loud music is probably in the top of their list of things not to do. So oh
That's probably
man,
true.
um,
Yeah.
yeah. So you're going to be kind of exploring. I know you're trying to figure out the source of the music, but now it does seem to be kind of something that's fucking with you. Uh,
Yeah.
how
I
is there?
mean,
Go ahead.
yeah.
Is there like a line where if you're, let's say you're walking around, you're exploring some of this stuff, is there something in your mind that would, something that happens and you go, oh, that's it, I'm done seeing what this is. What's your line in the sand for that?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. If I see like any signs of legitimate physical violence or
Okay.
something, like any weapons laying around or like blood on the floor, I'd be
Yeah.
like, okay, I'll fuck off. That'd be definitely some red flags, literally. So yeah. But as long as that doesn't happen, I'm probably just chasing somebody who isn't supposed to be here and is being kind of
Hmm.
trying to be as inconspicuous as possible. And as long as that's the case, then I don't think it's very dangerous. I hope. Yeah,
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah. If you see a bloody handprint on the bongo, it might be time to check out.
definitely. Yeah, I actually checked for like handprints or like fingerprints because it
Oh,
had
good
like
for
a
you.
shiny body.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't find anything. So I was like, okay.
Oh man.
But I'm not a detective, so I might have just missed like a ton. So I don't know.
But hey, yeah, you got the time and you got the resources to check it out, so might as well. Holy cow.
Yeah.
And what's, if you had to guess like what this realistically is, what would you guess?
Well, I've dreamt about this whole situation because I usually dream vividly about the stuff that I do the whole day,
Hmm.
and usually it's like work related, so it usually just is fucking boring stuff.
Fair, fair.
um, but these last couple of days, I've actually dreamt that I would like go down these corridors and like go deeper and deeper and deeper until I'm like some Uzumaki shit, like running
Hmm.
down these infinite stairwells, kind of thing, and finally reach like a den of like a bunch of people living there, like a uh, like a colonization or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, yeah, that's probably. I mean, it's good to know that that's probably not going to be it. I hope so. I mean, that would be kind of awesome, though, honestly.
You
But
just kind of
yeah, it's
stumble across a
probably
bunch of people living there. That'd be interesting, yeah.
yeah, like a whole new civilization or something. But it's probably just somebody who's. I mean, it's somebody who has to have a violin and a bongo,
Yeah.
stashing them somewhere, and like I guess they've been living. I mean, it could be an explanation that like they stole that from like music venues a while back and just bunkered them literally in this bunker
That's true.
for some time, and now they're like, okay, fuck it all. I'm tired of being secretive about
Hmm.
my music passion, and now they're just jamming out. I don't know.
But you
Could
haven't
be.
you haven't really found a violin though.
That's the thing. Yeah, I,
Yeah.
I would expect to find a violin somewhere because I've always like been at a dead end, except that like this event thingy. That might be the only possible way further down. Yeah, but
Like crawling through an air vent with a violin, just that sounds unreasonable. Like
right.
possible, but you really have to want to fuck with somebody. You know what I mean? Just crawling through
Exactly.
around like that. And that was the same thing
Yeah.
with like the brick wall that where it's just kind of like shoddy workmanship of, kind of a half wall with a space. It started to look like an old crawl space where you'd start to see like insulation and just it doesn't look like a place anyone would want to go, especially with some sort of instrument, like with anything,
Yeah.
honestly.
Exactly. And you have
It's
to be really small to fit through that as well. Like,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Is there anything else that you wanted to add?
Well, I'll try to keep you posted for any like further developments, but I
Okay.
hope that's going to be it. Either this thing just dies down and gets really boring, or I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Man, oh man. I would say just stay safe, but yeah, keep people posted. I can't blame you for your curiosity as long as you go about it the right way. And it seems
Yeah,
like you're just having fun with this, and it's might
I
be having fun with you.
goes same ways. It's win-win.
Yeah.
Right. Wish you a
See?
good day, evening.
Yeah, yeah. You take care, and I'll look for further updates. See ya.
Alrighty. See ya.